The Texas Tech football team hit the road this weekend to take on the reigning Big 12 champions on their turf. Coming up, MCTV Sports' Nathan Boles has a wrap-up of Tech versus Arizona State.
The local events calendar was packed this weekend, and several of those options happened right here on campus. Find out how Red Raiders showcase the university's cultural diversity and how a campus group is giving undergraduate students the opportunity to take advantage of transformative experiences before graduation.
And the Halloween season is in full effect in the Hub City, with options to celebrate the haunted holiday long before the most frightening day of the year. We'll have a look at two terrifying traditions and details on how Red Raiders can enjoy one spooky spot without breaking the bank.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Elene Khajishvili.
And I'm Aiden Wasson. The Texas Tech football team has been making headlines throughout the season, with many people around the nation keeping an eye on the Red Raiders.
Tech had won 6 straight up until Saturday, but could the team keep the streak going in their best season in 17 years? MCTV Sports' Nathan Boles joins us now with a first look at this past weekend's matchup. Nathan?
Thanks, Elena. And the Red Raiders met up with Arizona State in Tempe in front of a hostile crowd packed into Mountain America Stadium. With Tech ranked number 7 in the country, the Sun Devils were hoping for an upset, and unfortunately that's what they got. Tech's defense limited Arizona State to 3 field goals in the first half, which kept the game in reach at halftime. But a shutout in the third quarter for the Red Raiders' struggling offense set up second-string quarterback Will Hammond for a near-miracle performance during the fourth. Hammond helped the team score 15 points in the last 7 minutes of play and even came within 28 yards of a game-winning touchdown. But the clock caught up with the Red Raiders, and Tech lost their first game this season 22-26. Coming up later in sports, I'll have a full look at how it all happened and where the team now sits in the national rankings. Back to you, Aiden.
Thanks, Nathan. Texas Tech's loss was a letdown for many students when the contest finished late Saturday afternoon. But before the game even started, Red Raiders from across campus came together for a special event to kick off a week-long celebration of diversity. Culture Fest 2025 was the first event on the calendar for this year's International Week celebration. The event ran from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the International Cultural Center and featured students, faculty and staff from student organizations, language departments, and other multicultural groups around campus. The event showcased each group through music, food, live performances, and even arts and crafts. Representatives of some groups also dressed in traditional clothing from their country or culture, and traditional decorations could be found at booths and tables that surrounded the outside of the ICC. Riva Rashid with Students for Global Connections says the annual event is a chance for people to experience the world beyond Texas Tech without having to leave the hub city.
Lubbock is a very isolated city. It's like very far from all the major cities up here. And so Culture Fest, it just brings everybody together. I feel it just makes everybody happy. You get a taste of different cultures and different countries that you don't get in Lubbock.
Culture Fest is an annual event hosted by the Office of International Affairs, and it's also OIA's largest event of the fall semester. The festival is typically the final event on the International Week calendar, but this year the celebration was just the first of more than a dozen options for the Texas Tech community. For a full calendar of events, visit international.ttu.edu and click on the International Week 2025 link near the top of the page.
Each year, more than 30,000 students enroll in undergraduate courses here at Texas Tech. With that many Red Raiders, it can be easy to get lost in the crowd. But one group here on campus is working to help make the academic experience special for many of those students. The Center for Transformative Undergraduate Experiences, or TRU, held their 2025 symposium on Friday and Saturday. The 2-day event included a schedule of student and alumni talks, luncheons, and a competition. The talks were divided into 2 categories, Impact Talks and Career Talks. Impact Talks gave current students 3 minutes to explain a project they are working on and the impact of their efforts. Career Talks featured TTU alumni who returned to campus to talk about their time on campus and how that has helped them get to where they are now. Several posters were also on display during the event, showcasing opportunities undergraduates have been given to go beyond regular coursework. The 2025 TRU Symposium wrapped up on Saturday at the TTU Health Sciences Center with career talk sessions and a final luncheon. TRU is already making plans for their next symposium in the fall of 2026. If you'd like to learn more about the Center for Transformative Undergraduate Experiences, visit true.ttu.edu and click on the Students tab. Over the weekend, the South Plains area experienced a mix of temperatures, with highs in the mid-80s on Saturday, followed by the mid-70s yesterday afternoon.
It actually started to feel a lot like fall on Sunday, but that didn't last long, with temperatures already climbing today. But will the cooler temperatures return later this week? Let's take a look at the MCTV forecast. It's mostly sunny on the MCTV tower cam, and even though the sun can sometimes be deceiving, that's not the case today. Temperatures have already reached the upper 80s this afternoon, and we may even see 90-degree highs before sunset. But there's a good chance that this could be one of the last 90-degree days of the year. Breezy winds have also been a factor today, and later tonight, those winds will start to come in from the north and move a cold front into our area. Overnight lows are expected to drop into the 40s across the South Plains, and that creates the possibility of a freeze for parts of the northern and South Plains. Here in Lubbock, we should only drop into the upper 40s, but that's enough to create a chilly start for students heading to morning classes. Later tomorrow, temperatures will begin to warm into the 70s for most areas, but that's still close to a 20-degree drop from today's highs. After tomorrow, we should start alternating between the 70s and 80s, but low temperatures should stay at or below 60 degrees for the rest of the week. Looking ahead, there's a chance for thunderstorms on Thursday, but dry conditions return to the forecast for the weekend.
The variation in temperatures might have been a little surprising for local residents this past weekend, but luckily it did not cause cancellations for outdoor activities. The weekend calendar was packed with options, including one annual event that helps get the local community into the Halloween spirit. From Thursday through yesterday, the Lubbock Parks and Recreation Department hosted the annual Pumpkin Trail at the Lubbock Memorial Arboretum inside Clapp Park. The yearly celebration of the haunted holiday featured hundreds of jack-o'-lanterns, ghoulish displays, and photo opportunities for the whole family. The trail winds its way through the west side of the Arboretum, giving guests the chance to enjoy the creativity of carvings made by Lubbock organizations, businesses, and residents. Last week marked the 17th annual Pumpkin Trail, with thousands of people stopping by to enjoy the annual tradition. Admissions is always free and open to the community.
As we mentioned earlier, the Texas Tech football team had a rough weekend on the road in Arizona, but they weren't the only Red Raiders taking on Big 12 competition in the Grand Canyon State.
MCTV's Nathan Boles joins us again with an in-depth look at the football game and highlights from another team that found a bit more success on the road in sports. Nathan?
Thanks, Aiden and Elene. Going into Saturday's game, quarterback Baron Morton was ruled out for the Red Raiders. Will Hammond got his first start, and it was kind of a tough one to get thrown into. So we'll go ahead and pick it up in the second quarter here on this one. Second quarter, it's 4th and 6. His offense struggled all first half. That one goes through Coy Aiken's hands, and that's a turnover on downs. Defense bent but didn't break, but it bent into 3 field goals, and Tech only got a touchdown. And here to start the second half, kind of an unlucky pick there. Falls out of the tight end's hands, and Arizona State's Marquell Hughes gets the interception. That leads to a touchdown. They kick another field goal. Tech gets one of their own in the fourth quarter. Now with about 2 minutes left, short punt, Coy Aiken just picks it up and he decides to go running. He gets inside the 15-yard line, and that sets up Texas Tech. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. Down 5, Will Hammond looking to his left. He finds Reggie Virgil in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown, and that gives Texas Tech the lead. They go for 2. Will Hammond calls his own number. Boom with the shoulder. Will Hammond in the end zone for 2. Texas Tech up 22-19. 4th and 2. This play can decide it if Tech can stop him. But Sam Levitt escapes, and he finds his man. They get all the way inside the 25 with just 55 seconds left. Later in this drive, Arizona State 2nd and goal. That's going to be Raquel Brown, who pushes his way into the end zone. And Arizona State takes the lead once again, 26-22. Texas Tech tried to continue their miraculous fourth quarter. They get within 28 yards, but on the last play, Will Hammond got it there, but nobody was able to come down with it. And for the first time all season, Texas Tech football picked up a loss, 26-22. After the game, Joey McGuire said they're about to find out how this team will respond to a loss.
You know, you drop in the rankings and You know, you hear all the noise, you know, from everywhere and anywhere. Just like I told them, it's the same thing as when you win. You hear the noise of the win, and how do you handle that? You're going to hear the same noise. It's just going to be different. It's going to be more negative. How do you handle that? We're going to find out a lot about this team throughout this week going into Saturday at home.
Tech dropped to number 14 in the AP poll, while Arizona State got back in at number 24. BYU is number 11, even though they have a 7-0 record and a win over Utah Saturday night. The Red Raiders are now 3-1 in the Big 12, along with Arizona State and Houston. BYU and Cincinnati are at the top with 4-0 records. If you go to the game this Saturday, don't bring your tortillas. Today, Kirby Hocutt announced that tortillas cannot be thrown inside Jones AT&T Stadium anymore. This is after the Big 12 changed a rule Thursday that after one warning, throwing objects onto the field now causes a 15-yard penalty and a $100,000 fine. Tech has thrown tortillas at football games for years, but with the penalties becoming too steep, Texas Tech football is now pleading for the fans to understand what needs to be done.
The situation is on me. I leaned into this of throwing tortillas at the beginning of the football season. Now I must ask everyone to stop, and I must ask our staff to enforce it on game days.
It will be interesting to see how it plays out as Texas Tech plays Oklahoma State this weekend. It is a good game for the Red Raiders to bounce back after taking their first loss. Oklahoma State is 1-6 on the season, and for the first time in over 20 years, Mike Gundy is no longer their head coach. Kickoff for the game, hopefully with no tortillas, will be Saturday at 3. Texas Tech soccer also took a trip to the state of Arizona for a couple games on the weekend. First up for them, it was the Sun Devils in a late one Thursday. We'll pick this one up in the first half. Early in the first half, Taylor Strzelecki, she's been doing it all year for the Red Raiders, makes a few moves, and she gets a goal by the goalie there. Texas Tech up 1-0. They end up going 2-0 early in this one, and it looked like they'd be all right, but early in the second half, Arizona State, what a goal there from the Sun Devils in the upper right corner, and Arizona State ended up tying it later, so it's 2-2, but with 5 minutes left, here comes Taylor Strzelecki again. She puts it in the upper right 90, and Texas Tech found a way to get the 3-2 victory. Fast forward to Sunday afternoon, the Red Raiders now up against the Arizona Wildcats. Pick this one up, first half, early first half again. Raleigh Greason, look at that, outside the box, and she just goes for it, and Texas Tech up 1-0. Not too long after that, Macy Blackburn to Strzelecki, the most common pairing all year on these Red Raider goals. Texas Tech up 2-0. Second half, Arizona's trying to get one on the board, but Faith Nguyen stops that cross before anything can happen. And that's all she wrote. Tech got it done with a 2-0 victory. Tom Stone said it was a tough weekend, but it was good to get 2 Big 12 road wins.
It took every bit of most of our roster to get through both games. After giving up the lead on Thursday and getting it back at the end, we're pretty emotionally and physically drained. Our sports performance team did an unbelievable job getting everybody ready. And then, Raleigh and Z scoring again. Z's 13th, Raleigh's 3rd. And Raleigh doesn't score the run-of-the-mill goals. She just scores bangers, so we were happy for her. And what a great way to start the game for us to get that goal and get moving forward on these guys.
Tech is now number 3 in the top drawer soccer poll, rising 1 spot. They were number 12 in the United Soccer Coaches poll last week, and the new one comes out tomorrow. They're currently atop the Big 12 standings with 6 wins, no losses, and 2 ties. Tech will have a big test against top 25 Colorado on the road in Boulder. They have 3 regular season games left before the Big 12 tournament. First touch is at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. our time. That game will be, as usual, on ESPN+. That's all we got for sports. Back to you, Elene and Aiden.
Thanks, Nathan. The countdown to Halloween is now under 2 weeks away, but some students have already been celebrating by stopping by local seasonal events for some frightful fun.
One of those yearly options has been scaring Red Raiders and local residents for nearly 2 decades. And last week, students could test their courage while enjoying a scary good deal. On Thursday night, Texas Tech students had a terrifying night out at Nightmare on 19th Street. Members of the Student Activities Board set up at the entrance to the Lone Star Events Center, giving the first 300 Red Raiders to arrive the chance to get in free. After that, anyone who didn't get in received a discounted ticket for $7 with their student ID. Nightmare on 19th includes 4 haunted attractions connected by the Mayhem Midway. Vendors in the Midway offered snacks, jewelry, and other Halloween-themed merchandise for purchase. If you missed out on the chance to grab a free ticket last week, SAB is offering a second spooky option to join in on the fun.
Next week actually is we're doing a part 2. We're doing the same thing because I know only 300 students is like a little bit of admissions. So we're doing the same thing next week, same time, same place. Haunted houses is going to be really fun, and that's what you can look forward to. Nightmare on 19th at Family Weekend.
Even if you don't make it to Nightmare on 19th this Thursday, you can still enjoy one of Lubbock's most twisted traditions from now until Halloween night. Tickets are available in person or at nightmareon19thstreet.com. But if your budget is tight and you can't afford regular admission, SAB's second night at Nightmare on 19th starts at 8 p.m. Thursday. But get there early. The 300 free tickets disappear fast.
So Aiden, have you been brave enough to go to the Nightmare on 19th Street this year?
Not yet, I haven't been brave enough, but you know, I think I'm finally feeling brave enough and I might stop by on Thursday.
That is very brave of you.
Thank you.
That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.